Most people widely accept that the Laser Minigun is a relatively old weapon in Pixel Gun 3D. The weapon was introduced about 14 months ago, and even after all of this time, most people regard it as one of the most powerful weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. But will that reign of superiority still be able to hold itself up by the end of this video? For there is a newcomer, a new weapon introduced not 2 months ago in this game, in the primary section, named the Icicle Minigun UP2. In today's video, I, ExxotikGaming, will be comparing both the newcomer, the Icicle Minigun UP2, and the old-time big shot, the Laser Minigun, and seeing which one truly is the best of the best. Now, beginning this comparison looking solely at the stats of the weapon, we can see that the Laser Minigun has a 25 lethality, 97 firing rate, 75 capacity, and 100 mobility. This is in contrast with the Icicle Minigun's 24 lethality, 97 firing rate, 65 capacity, and 120 mobility. Now, the stats are different for all except the firing rate, but the obvious conclusion here is that the stats are very, very similar. You can't really tell which one is the definite better weapon out of the two looking solely at the stats. And that is why you have to go into an actual gameplay before you can really tell which one is better in which circumstance. Now, the truth of the matter is, both of these weapons are best at different times. Not one of these weapons is an overwhelming better weapon in all aspects of gameplay, so I would honestly recommend, if you have the coins available to get both of these weapons, the coins and gems available, then you should probably get both of these weapons to maximize your gameplay that you will get in-game. Now, as you guys can see, both of these weapons have very similar stats, but they do have very unique capabilities. And the unique capability of the Icicle Minigun UP2 is the fact that it can slow down an enemy player that you are firing at. Say the enemy player has a very fast melee weapon like the Candy Cane, or the Fire Demon, or something along those lines, which has a very, very high mobility and makes an enemy player just fly around the map. You don't really have to worry about that super high mobility with this weapon anymore, because when you are firing at an enemy player with this thing, it will greatly decrease the mobility of the enemy player, from around 120 to maybe something like 90 or 80 or something like that. So it's a very important aspect in longer range gameplay where maybe somebody is running with a melee weapon very fast across the map and it's proving to be very difficult to take them out with something like the Secret Forces rifle or any other primary weapon. That is where the Icicle Minigun comes in and is easily able to take them out in that aspect. The Laser Minigun's special ability, on the other hand, is the fact that this weapon has a wall break. And if you don't know what a wall break means, it basically means it is a through-wall weapon, where if somebody is hiding behind a wall or a mountain or a building or whatever they're hiding behind, they're no longer safe, because this weapon will go directly through that wall and easily hit anybody that you are aiming at. Now, the one key make or break situation with both of these weapons is its crosshairs. Now, as you guys can see, when I'm firing for an extended period of time with the Laser Minigun, the weapon's crosshairs gets very, very large very, very quickly, making it very inaccurate at pretty much anything farther away than 10 feet from me at a certain point. You don't have to worry about that with the Icicle Minigun, because when you fire with the Icicle Minigun, the crosshairs stay the same regardless how long you fire at an enemy player. And therefore, the Icicle Minigun is probably the better spare your prey type of weapon in a map like Paradise Resort, where at times you will find some people at a pretty decent range away from you. The obvious thing is the Laser Minigun is probably the better weapon at close range. In maps like Silent School, Infected Prison, and such, where there are a lot of walls where people can hide behind, and all of the gameplay is very close range, the Laser Minigun will definitely shine and give you a lot of very good kills in those maps. The Icicle Minigun will do well in close range, but at times people who do have melee weapons and something like the Laser Minigun will probably have the upper hand against you. So you should probably use this in limitation and use the laser minigun only at close range, where you will find your best possible gameplay. The Icicle Minigun, on the other hand, would work best at medium range. So Paradise Resort, one of your best friends for the Icicle Minigun. Any other medium range map really is where this weapon will shine and give you the best possible gameplay experience. But regardless which map you join, you're probably going to get some pretty decent gameplay with both of these weapons. Unless it's a very long-range map, like maybe D-Day, and somebody is using the laser minigun, then you might not get some great gameplay, but the overwhelming majority of the time is you will probably get a majority of the players that you will encounter. These are both weapons where you can easily take out adamant armored players, and my best tip is at a medium to long range type of gameplay with the laser minigun is you kind of have to like tap. It's like a semi-auto type of weapon. You don't want to hold down the firing button for a long time because as you guys could see there, I was holding down the button for a long time and because of that, it was getting very inaccurate. But if you fire for a sec, you wait for the crosshairs to realign, fire again, wait for the crosshairs to realign, and then do that same process, then you will find that you will kill a lot more people, even if it doesn't seem like that at first. Now, there are times where both of these weapons will probably not be able to successfully take them out, and you guys could see right there, if somebody has the laser minigun themselves, and adamant armor, and an invisibility potion, you're probably not going to take those people out. And hey, maybe you will, maybe you'll get some pretty epic gameplay, but a majority of the time that's probably not going to happen. As you guys can see, it's pretty difficult to actually successfully take the person out. But I did it, so it was alright. Now, the Icicle Minigun UP2 is definitely the weapon which will give you some much more skilled gameplay if you have to use it. In all honesty, it doesn't require a whole lot of skill in order to use the laser minigun, so pretty much anybody can use it and get decent gameplay with it. I've never been in a match where somebody who uses the laser minigun gets like 5 kills in a 7-minute match, because that usually doesn't happen. Pretty much everybody who uses the laser minigun always usually gets in the top level brackets. Now, because of that, a lot of people get very, very mad when somebody uses the laser minigun, me included. If I see an adamant armored player using the laser minigun, I find it very, very overpowering, and it does make me mad because, you know, they could obviously use something that's a little bit different than that and still get some decent gameplay comparison to what I get with my ruby armor and slightly less powerful weapon. So, if you are somebody who does not have the highest self-esteem in the world, and you get really, really upset when people call you out and call you bad names and stuff like that, the laser minigun might not be the weapon for you. Just because with the laser minigun, people who use the laser minigun get called very, very harsh things in the chat. I've seen some nasty things being said by enemy players in the chat. I never am one to say nasty things, although I would think it in my head sometimes, but it's really nasty things are said to people who use the laser minigun. So keep that in mind, guys. I just noticed there's a fake ExxotikGaming. By the way, guys, please don't be a fake me. That's just really pathetic. But yeah, if you use the laser minigun, you just are probably going to be in for a lot of name calling in a match. So, my best advice, if you are not really somebody who likes that, but you still want to use the laser minigun, is use it in moderation. It's like alcohol. You don't drink like 5 bottles of wine and then expect to be perfectly fine in a couple of hours, okay? You have to do that in moderation, just like with Pixel Gun 3D. You have to use the laser minigun in moderation. Fire for a bit, and then switch over to a different weapon when you have used it for maybe, I don't know, 40 seconds or so in a match. Because you have 6 different loadouts, or 6 different slots in your loadout for a reason. You don't have 6 different slots to just use one of your weapons the entire length of the match, because that's stupid. I mean, there are some great weapons in different slots of your loadout, like the Alien Blaster, or the Exterminator, or even the Stormhammer, or something like that. Pretty much every other slot has some great weapons, and if you are using the laser minigun the entire time, and truthfully, if you are using the Icicle Minigun the entire time, you're really missing out on the other weapons. So both of these weapons are weapons you should use in moderation, and that is how you will get your best gameplay. And in all honesty, if you are somebody who really likes medium range matches and you never are one to go into Silent School, then you might just want to get the Icicle Minigun anyway, just because with the laser minigun, well, since it is best at close range and you don't ever go into close range matches, what's the point of even having the laser minigun? So that's something to keep in mind, guys. You really have to base this determination on to get one of the two solely on the fact that which maps you actually play on. Because, as we obviously see, Icicle Minigun better on medium-range maps, and the Laser Minigun best on close-range maps. So if you are somebody who loves Silent School and Infected Prison, and that's pretty much 95% of the time the matches that you join, then you should probably stick with the Laser Minigun, just because it is a much more useful weapon for the maps that you join. So keep that in mind, guys, when determining which weapon to use, and in all honesty, you can easily take out a lot of Adamant Armored players unless they have, like, the prototype or something that is more powerful than what these weapons are. But like I said, not too many weapons are more powerful than the prototype, and, or not the prototype, but the Laser Minigun and the Icicle Minigun. They are some of the most powerful weapons in Pixel Gun 3D, and you should have no trouble getting into the top leaderboards when using this weapon. As you guys can see, I have the overwhelming majority of the kills in this match, and, you know, it's just because I am using some of the most powerful weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. I don't know if I showed you guys a actual proper wall break kill with the Laser Minigun, but I will try to do that before this video is over. Here's somebody who I could probably be able to kill and successfully take out. It is quite difficult when you are actually trying to take the person out through wall break, and in all honesty, if you see somebody, then you should probably just try to fire at them directly with using this weapon, because that way you know that you are actually hitting them. So definite best option when using the Laser Minigun is just fire head on at the enemy player, and even if you do that, it still has a very powerful damage. Each of those shots that you fire out of the Laser Minigun really does a lot of damage to an enemy player. These weapons both are some of the most powerful weapons in Pixel Gun 3D, and like I said earlier, get both of them if you have the coins available to do so, because if you are somebody like me who goes in a lot of different matches, but gets a lot of different gameplay with a lot of different weapons, then you will find that you will really like both of these weapons, and you may not like the Laser Minigun as much as the Icicle Minigun, but you'll probably like them nevertheless. I usually don't use the Laser Minigun just because I personally feel like I am a little overpowered when using it. I just feel cheap when I use the Laser Minigun and I get kills with it. I feel a lot less cheap when I use the Icicle Minigun. That is why I use it a lot more. So if you ever see me in a match, you're more likely to see me using the Icicle Minigun than the Laser Minigun. But don't automatically assume that I don't use the Laser Minigun, because a lot of people have been saying in the past, oh, he's using the Laser Minigun. He is obviously a fake ExxotikGaming, because ExxotikGaming never, ever uses a Laser Minigun. Well, if I'm doing a comparison, obviously going to be using the Laser Minigun. So, yeah, guys, Icicle Minigun, Laser Minigun. Icicle Minigun is better at medium range to long range. Laser Minigun better at close range. Laser Minigun better at maps like Silent School, Infected Prison. Icicle Minigun better in maps like Toy Factory and Paradise Resort. So, there's a big trade-off between the two weapons, and overall, I'd probably say if I was to choose one over the other, if you just cannot determine between the two, I'd go with the Icicle Minigun, because for me personally, I have a lot more fun when using the Icicle Minigun. I actually sometimes tend to get better gameplay when using it. I don't feel cheap when using the Icicle Minigun, and a majority of the matches that I join into are not close range. I do a lot of close range gameplay for my videos, but when I do not do actual videos, a lot of the matches that I join are medium to long range, because I really like using some of the longer range weapons, and I really like scoping. But both of these weapons do not have scopes, so your best bet is to not go into the extremely long-range maps. Even though I said this one is better at long range, it is just better than the Laser Minigun. It's not like it's the most perfect weapon for a map like D-Day, because it's not. It doesn't have a scope, so it's really difficult to see where somebody is all the way across the map. So, that's pretty much it for my comparison between the two weapons, guys. I really hope you guys did enjoy this comparison. A lot of people have been requesting it, and I am finally doing it. Both of these weapons have the word minigun in it. That's probably the reason why. A lot of people have also requested the Automatic Peacemaker UP2 versus the Laser Minigun. That may happen in the near future. And also the Automatic Peacemaker versus the Icicle Minigun, and that might happen in the near future. So, yeah, if you were mad that I did not do those other various forms of comparisons, then don't worry, that's probably going to happen in the future, and, yeah, I do plan on doing many, many more comparisons in the near future. So I really hope you guys did enjoy this. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to go check out my other Pixel Gun 3D videos that I have done on my channel. I have a lot of other series that I have done on Pixel Gun 3D. Deadly games, 1v1s, weapon reviews, weapon comparisons. That's what this one is part of. Campaign episodes, and many, many others. So, Heck, even try my multiplayer episodes. Do you guys remember when I did that a long time ago? There was a series that I only did 2 episodes to in 2014 called just multiplayer, and it was not very successful. That's why I stopped it, but it was just an interesting series, and probably most of you guys watching this have not even heard of that series before. So, yeah, check that one out. But there we go, guys. I won the match by 11 points more than the second place person, so there you go. You can win when using these weapons. They're great weapons, and you can get some fantastic gameplay with them. But, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and one last kill with the Icicle Minigun. Let's go. Let's do this. Who will it be? It's going to be this guy. Definitely going to be the person inside here. Yep, this guy. And there we go. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all for the 5th time in the next video.